It's time for live chat. The Psychetruth live chat. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on your YouTube machine. Live chat, live chat, live chat, live chat. I'll answer your questions about whatever you want to talk about on the Psychetruth. Live chat, live chat, live chat, live chat. Live chat, live chat, live chat, live chat. The Psychetruth live chat. Only on YouTube. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming and welcome to my weekly live chat. This is a health and wellness Q&A. That means this is your opportunity to ask a health coach, preferably your health-related questions, but sometimes I have been known to field less than related questions. I'm gonna start this chat off on a lighter note. One of my good friends, George Not Smith 2, who always comes, hangs out in the chats. Oh man, here we go. He was leaving some awesome jokes before the chat began to entertain people who were waiting. So, George, thank you for that. That's sweet of you. I'm just going to read one of these. How many Jedi Masters does it take to change a light bulb? And, this is one of those questions that, you can just ponder and ponder. And really, everything in the universe depends on, figuring out the answer. Well, as y'all might have guessed, none. The Force changes the light bulb and the Jedi Master stays out of the way. Anyways, there's some other funny jokes in there too. If you guys scroll up to the start of the comment section, you will see them there. So George, thank you so much for helping us to start out on a little bit of a happy note. Alrighty, thanks so much to everyone for being here. For those who don't know, my name is Corrina Rachel. And I am a certified holistic health coach. The topics I have discussed on this YouTube channel, Psychetruth, range from weight loss, nutrition, detox, diets, and stress. ASMR, which is what a lot of people know me from. I always see people comment that it's so weird to hear me talking in a normal voice. But whatever it is that brought you here today, thank you so much for coming, and I truly hope that you find it valuable. You guys can leave your questions in the chat box, in the comment box below. If you leave question marks at the beginning of your question, it's going to make it a lot easier for me to see them amidst all of the comments. I also just want to note that this is a super chat, which means that I will be flying with a cape sometime through the chat. No? Okay, all right. It's not that kind of a super chat, although it would be really cool if it was. It just means that you can leave a tip. So I jokingly like to say, if you like my tips, then share the love and consider leaving a tip on this chat. It really does help us to just make our ends meet every week, and gives us the opportunity to do something like this, which I really enjoy doing. I've been doing this chat for years and I love it. And yes, George, I did check my volume. I don't know how you knew that that's what I was doing, but that is what I was doing. Lewis Thompson, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've done like hundreds of videos on the topic of weight loss. I don't know if I've necessarily addressed this question though. I like this question. Can you overeat healthy foods and still lose weight? So really and truly, it's going to depend on what healthy foods we're talking about. In the world of fruits and vegetables, there's really not an area of too much that you can eat. Now, it is worth noting that there are certain fruits and certain vegetables which contain more starch or sugar or carbohydrates. Okay, all kind of same words for the same thing. So we could talk about peas, corn, carrots. All right, these types of things are going to have kind of a lot of carbs in them compared to something like kale or spinach, which is going to be more protein than carbohydrates. Now, the thing to understand is that when you eat these really nutritious foods, they give your body so many nutrients, okay, which is just a general word for all of the vitamins, minerals, amino acids, electrolytes, antioxidants. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of valuable things that these foods give us. Now, at a certain point, if you are eating an excess of those foods, significantly more of an excess than the calories you're burning off, then yes, those foods could prevent you from losing weight. However, it is my opinion that when we are giving our bodies the most nutritious foods, our bodies are going to come into a state of balance and a state of overall health where our weight is largely kind of regulated. We could talk about hormones, we could talk about insulin. There's a lot of different factors that determine whether we're going to gain weight or whether we're going to lose weight. Okay, there's not just one. So calorie counting or looking at how many calories you're eating versus how many calories you're burning, that's a big piece for sure, but it's not the only piece. When we get into, other so-called healthy foods that are maybe healthier than the typical foods in the typical diet, like wheat bread would maybe be an example, that's still a processed food. And yes, even though it is healthy for you, or at least healthier, you can still gain weight from just eating those processed foods. So anyways, really cool question, Lewis. Thank you so much for asking it. Kind of a topic that I would really have to go food by food. But one thing that I love about eating healthy and eating salads and stuff like that is that you really can kind of eat as much as you want. And those things are so good for you that even though you may be technically overeating calories, they're such nutritious calories that I think they still help you out. And the other thing about real foods is that they contain a lot of fiber. And what that fiber does is send a message to your brain that you're full. So there's a point to where unless you're forcing yourself to eat beyond the point of feeling full, and you know how when you feel full, you kind of like, it's gross to think about eating anymore. The food that looked really good 10 minutes ago is suddenly like not appetizing anymore. So healthy foods will kind of prevent you from overeating too much because of all that fiber and all those nutrients. So again, thank you so much, Lewis. Thank you for all of your sweet comments. Okay, I just got flooded with a bunch of comments here. Michaela Powell, thank you so much for that sweet comment about my singing. Simonize 251. Yes, I'm a jazz player, guitar and vocalist. And I have a little jazz duo slash. Sometimes we hire more people, but I kind of like the duo setting because it's just so simplified. Alrighty, so wow, Waldo even recognized the chords I was playing. That's pretty awesome. I didn't study music in college, but I have been, I guess, learning jazz and being taught jazz by people that I know and people that I play with for like 10 years now or something. So I've learned some fancy chords. Alrighty, so I'm going to take this question. Man, there's always so many good questions. So just so you know, guys, there's no way that I can literally answer every single question. But I do my best, all right? But if you want a guarantee of your question getting answered, leave a tip with your question. And then what YouTube does is actually bump it to the top and give me a little like alert or whatever showing that someone's left a tip. So if you want your question to get bumped to the top and get answered next, leave a little love. Leave a little love with your question. Okay, cool. So Banana Minion says, hello, I learned for 1 month to try and do the splits, but my hips wouldn't go down. So I'm gonna just do a general kind of discussion on flexibility, because this is something that, you know, a lot of people are working towards, and it can be really frustrating. And I totally understand that. I don't have my splits, okay? My hips don't go all the way down to the ground either. So flexibility, this is something that, you know, we have a lot of flexibility as babies, right? And as kids. And so you can kind of think about, you know, if you got into gymnastics or tumbling or dance or something like that as a child, a lot of times kids have this really amazing flexibility, right? They can do their splits, they can do all kinds of things with a lot of ease. And then as we get older, we're going to generally tend to find that we become less flexible, right? We start to lose that kind of mobility and malleability to be able to go into some of those, what I call like a flexibility challenge, like the splits or a scorpion, aka dancer's pose in yoga. So as we get older, right, part of it is the habits that we have, right? We're creatures of habit, both mentally and physically. So if we haven't had a habit of stretching and being active, then our muscles kind of get used to that, and our heart gets used to that, right? Our whole entire body. So if you haven't been very active, okay, and haven't done a lot of flexibility stuff through your life, the later in your life that you start trying to get flexible, you're still going to be able to do it 100% if you keep at it, but it's going to get a little bit more difficult. The more sedentary we are, the more time that we spend sitting, is those types of things start to, again, not only get our muscles in the habit of not being flexible, but our muscles can even start to atrophy. Another thing to know about flexibility is that strength and flexibility are completely intertwined. And in order to have the flexibility you want to do something like the splits, you need to have enough muscle to help support that. So for every stretch or every pose or every exercise, there's a certain muscle group that's being strengthened and a certain muscle group that's being stretched. So flexibility and strength really are like literally, you know, two sides of the same coin, you could say. So for somebody who's working towards their splits, as an example, or working towards whatever flexibility challenge, understand that just doing the stretches may not be enough alone. Again, every person's body is going to be different, right? But understand that you can't just do the stretches alone. You need to also be working on your strength, your cardio strength, but especially your, you know, like muscular strength. I'm not saying you have to lift weights necessarily, but you need to do some workouts too, right? So something like, oh, Athena, do you have a minute to come say hi? Okay, guys, so I was thoroughly surprised and pleased to see the beautiful Athena Jezik come into our office today. I don't have another chair in here, okay, I apologize.
I'll just go down like this.
Anyhow, so I'm sure that a lot of you remember Athena. She has been making videos on our channel for quite a long time now. She's made a lot of videos, and I've seen so many comments from people about how helpful they are. So let me scroll down. Okay, guys, so she just has a couple of minutes here in between her errands. But if y'all want to leave some, I guess, massage, pain relief, she's also a craniosacral therapist. So any kind of questions in that area, if y'all want to leave them. And then do you want to tell them what you've been up to?
Well, yes. I'm working on rehabilitation with movement therapy as well as craniosacral therapy. And it's amazing. And I have some sound therapy that's added into the work now. We should actually show that sometime.
Yeah, so she was telling me a little while ago, like, using the Tibetan singing bowls.
Yeah.
Right?
Very specifically, though, not just playing them, but very specifically, which is fun. And you can decalcify pineal gland.
Cool.
At least that's what they say, but it seems like people are kind of changing with it. It takes time.
But if people get off the table and they're feeling better, then
They're feeling extremely different.
then that's, as I call, the proof in the pudding.
Yeah. And the other thing I've discovered is how to really, in fact, I did this on Mike and he validated it, is how to work with real energy in the body with the subtle anatomy, and then melding with that, and then drawing the physical out while putting the energy in. And the pressure stays the same, but it's a different pressure because it's the energy pressure rather than physical pressure. So that's a real fun one too.
Awesome.
So Mike kind of, just talk to Mike and we'll see if we can do some videos with that.
Cool. So if y'all have been paying attention on our channel, you've noticed we're not putting up as many massage videos on the YouTube channel, but we are still producing massage videos, and you can find them all on Psychetruth Plus, which is our subscription service, and we're doing it, it's like $5 a month right now. We're running a little special. So the stuff we're going to do with Athena is probably going to be on Psychetruth Plus. We may be able to put some of it up on YouTube as well. But if you guys love Athena as much as we do, check out Psychetruth Plus. Yes, it's so good to see you. This is such a fun surprise.
And actually, some of the stuff I'm going to do, I'd rather have it on a more controlled, not so censored, because it's getting down into some pretty interesting work, and it's stuff that I've been just discovering over the last 30 years, so it's really exciting.
Very cool.
So, thank you. Good to see you all, and thank you so much. I still get emails from many of you, and I really want to thank you. It's really good to hear from you, and I'm glad my work has brought you many people to looking at different avenues for their health, and they enjoy finding that and getting better. So thank you.
Charlie Wallace says hi. He says, we love you, Athena. We got some other free little comments in here as well. So somebody says, what is energy? Do you want to talk a little bit about what does that mean when somebody talks about manipulating your energy?
Well, there's an energy field around us. When you get real sensitive to that kind of thing, you can see it, you can feel it, it's there. You know how you walk into a room and it just feels nasty, or it feels really good, or you want to, that's the energy of it. And I think we're moving into that space, getting more aware as we get more aware, as the world gets crazier. We're starting to find a better path, which is more, conducive to growth rather than the other way. So it's a matter of working with your energy with your hands, and there's like Reiki and stuff where you work off of it, but that takes a lot more work to get that far off the body, to do it in a really effective way. It's not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just the effectiveness. So what I'm teaching now to my students is how to work with the energy to meld with the physical, and then back out of the physical while putting the energy through the fingers and maintaining the same pressure, but instead of it being physical pressure, it's energetic pressure.
Cool. Well, I definitely look forward to learning more about that, guys. Yes, a lot more videos coming up with Athena. Very exciting.
Yeah, we'll get together. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Awesome. Thank you for popping in. I'm so glad you did.
Yeah, okay. Well, have a good show, and thank you all out there.
Alrighty. We'll see you super soon.
Yeah, bye-bye.
It's always so fun when I have guests pop in the live chat. Especially kind of a surprise guest like that, because she said she didn't really have time today, and then she surprised me by popping her head in here. So very fun there. Back on track. Here we go. Let me scroll back up for questions. Thank you so much for showing some love to Athena. All right, so we were talking about flexibility there a little bit. My moderator, Ilka Aptrut, there's like a little wrench next to the screen name there. And the comment says, I'm more flexible now, pushing 40, than I was when I was a teenager. So that's just kind of a testament that, even though, starting to become flexible can become a little bit more challenging as we age, it's not impossible. And you can even watch videos out there of people who are like 95-year-old yoga teachers, and they can do all of these amazing, amazing things with their bodies. So there definitely is no like cap off on age in terms of what you can do if you keep at it and you're consistent. I think I was talking about strength and flexibility and how you need to also do like quad workouts, butt workouts, anything that, attacks your legs, your inner thighs, especially for something like splits. We're basically talking about flexibility of your thighs. There's also some back strength and back flexibility that comes into being able to sit up comfortably in your splits. So, consider, I guess, just kind of diversifying what you're doing. Yes, the stretching is important. You need to be consistent. You need to hold those stretches really for 1 minute to 2 minutes each. Breathing deeply into the stretches. You can't just go into a stretch for a couple seconds and then move to the next one. It's holding a difficult stretch and almost, where you feel the burn, right? Usually when I'm in a crazy stretch, I'm like, for whatever reason, it helps me to sing in a really high-pitched voice. And then hold it and breathe deeply into it. And that's how you really start to build flexibility in your muscles. Again, warmed up muscles, strong muscles are going to have more flexibility. So the strength, the workouts are just as important as those stretches. Alrighty. Oh my God, there are so many questions in here. Holy camole. Alrighty. Okay, oh dear. Zombie goes boom. Can you tell me something calming? I have severe nicotine withdrawal and panic attacks. Take a deep, deep breath. Let's see. Actually, the first thing I would tell you, Zombie, is to go to our ASMR channel. If you haven't heard of ASMR, it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, but you don't really need to know that. You just need the 4 letters, ASMR. But this is an entire genre or style of videos dedicated to helping people sleep, helping reduce anxiety and stress. So this chat, I'm like energized. I try to get through a lot of questions. It's not a very calming environment. But if you go check out either our ASMR channel or, there's lots of ASMR creators out there. So that is going to be a lot more calming. But to give you maybe some ideas of things you can do right now in case you do want to stay in the chat, breathing really deeply. A lot of what causes in your specific case, you've got nicotine withdrawal, right? So that's a physical thing causing your anxiety. But a lot of what causes anxiety is having our attention either in the past or in the future. So one really, really great technique to do when you are feeling a panic attack or just feeling that kind of anxious energy coming up is to intently, and when I say intently, I mean intentionally, okay, with intention, with purpose, intently focus your attention on something in your physical universe, in your physical environment, okay? And when I say focus intently, what I mean is notice everything about that object, everything about the room you're sitting in. And the more you can kind of integrate all of your senses. What does it smell like? What is the temperature like? Is there an aroma or something? Do you have a taste in your mouth from a meal that you ate earlier maybe? What do you hear? Really challenge yourself to listen, not just to the things that you hear initially, like the AC, the traffic noise around the corner, but really intently listen. Really intently listen and challenge yourself to notice things or to hear things or to smell things that you didn't notice before. So for instance, on this eraser, as I sit here and intently look at it, and focus on all of the little, let me see if I can get it to focus here for you guys. Focusing on all of those little tiny fibers, right, of this eraser. This is one of those Expo erasers there. Actually, this side is really good too. You know, noticing the textures. Feel the textures, again, with your senses, right? So you're looking at it, but you can also touch it. And then you can listen to the sounds that it makes when you scratch on it, right? It's kind of embossed over those letters there. Notice the different colors, right? It's not just a gray eraser. It's not just black. It has all this kind of crazy subtleties. What does it feel like? What are the different sensations that we can get? So anyways, that's kind of part of what ASMR is all about, is helping you to focus really intently on physical objects. So when I make a video, it's the objects that are in my physical environment, but wherever you are, you can do that exact same thing. Notice. I definitely find the sounds going from ear to ear, which is kind of an ASMR technique, but it comes from our real life, right? Which is that we have two ears. We hear things on either side. So sometimes if I'm feeling really stressed, if I can scratch on something or tap on something. I'm a big tapper now. I tap on like everything. You know, something like a fidget spinner or tapping on stuff, you know, now you kind of have a physical thing you're doing to focus your attention on. So rather than being focused on something else, or on the withdrawal you're feeling in this specific instance, you're intently putting your focus on something else, on something in your real environment. If you can walk outside and get some fresh air and intently focus on trees, flowers, grass, little tiny bugs, dirt, then you have kind of an even dual bonus, which is your focus and all of the different benefits that we get from being out in nature. Just like fresh oxygen, all of these, there's actually chemicals that different plants produce, right? And so when we smell those fragrances, right, we can have, you know, really, really profound effects just from something really simple like walking outside and walking around in the grass. You know, so somebody else asked about how do I get flexible fast? You know, flexibility is something that it doesn't come fast. It's like if I was like, you know what? I want to start lifting 500 pounds in a bench press. So I'm just going to lay down on that little thing and I'm just go ahead and put 500 pounds on it. I need to learn how to get strong fast. Well, I would probably hurt myself. Good chance I could hurt somebody else depending on the situation. You know, but the bottom line is both strength and flexibility take time. And in the same way that you wouldn't be like, I'm gonna start lifting, you know, 1,000-pound bench press in one day, you're not gonna be able to get your splits in one day, right? You're not gonna be able to do a scorpion pose where you literally like put your foot on the top of your head in one day. Now, obviously there are some people out there that are maybe super flexible already or super active and super fit, and they're probably gonna reach those flexibility challenges a lot more quickly than somebody who's coming from a more sedentary lifestyle. And the longer that you've been sedentary throughout your life, the more time it's going to take for you to build that strength and build that flexibility to get where you want to be. But just keep at it. The most important thing I can say is to be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. You know, don't fixate so much on how fast you want to do it. Fixate on that you're doing something good for your body, right? And work with your body, not against it, you know. And this is maybe even a general comment on our health, as well as flexibility or fitness or whatever. Sometimes we feel like we're working against our body. Why am I not strong enough? Why am I not flexible enough? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? So instead of working against your body and seeing it as like the bad guy that's preventing you from doing these things, change your relationship with it, change your mind. I appreciate my body for being able to do this. I appreciate my body for, I can walk around, I can do this, I can carry things, and look how close I am to getting my splits. I am so appreciative of my body, right? I'm so grateful that I've been able to come this far. Thank you so much, my legs, my hips. Thank you for helping me get this far, right? Work with it, not against it. All right. Zombie goes boom. All right, so Jessie. Hello, Jessie. Jessie says, thank you. Actually, your explaining calmed me down. I will check out ASMR. Also, quickly, can a super tense neck cause a dizzy feeling? Alrighty, and I did see, if your neck and shoulders are super tight, can it lead to a slight feeling of dizziness? Yes, definitely. So let's just talk for a second. How well this is going to show. But if we talk about your neck and your shoulders, right, and you've got your spine. So your spine is perhaps the, kind of central key, the central part of your whole entire, nervous system. You could talk about your physical health, your physical nerve endings that all kind of travel through the spine, right? So when we talk about your neck and shoulders, I can't really see what I'm doing here. Neck and shoulders. There's so much that goes on in this junction of what's called the cervical spine. We can talk about just the weight bearing of the weight of your head, okay? On this, you've got this little tiny neck supporting a really pretty heavy head, right? We can talk about all of the nerves that travel up through the spine, through the brain stem, right? Connecting with the skull here. There's so much going on in this area. That is why, if we're tense here, if these muscles are, just firing like crazy, right? We've got all this tension, we've got all this pain, all this tightness. Guess what's going to happen to all of these delicate nerves and cerebrospinal fluid that flows around your spine? Becomes constricted. The ability for just general circulation in that area, whether we're talking about your blood, your cerebrospinal fluid, your lymphatic system. There's so much going on that, yes, tension, tightness, and pain in those areas is going to restrict some of that movement. So just a simple thing to think about here. A lot of times our shoulders creep up towards our head, right? If we're stressed, you'll find you're like this. When we're driving, we're up like this. When we're typing, we're up like this. So one really great thing to think about is just dropping your shoulders, what they say in yoga, down and back. So what that means is my shoulders can be here. I could just drop them down. But what really creates openness, okay, and a, really clear, healthy path of your neck is not only drop them down, but pull them back. And so you can even think about your shoulder blades. I don't know if you'll be able to, you can kind of see my shoulder blades there. So you can kind of think about when we're hunched over and rounded versus when we pull our shoulder blades down and back towards each other. And you get this opening of the chest. Okay? I'm sure it's being a little wonky here. You get this opening of the chest, right? And you'll feel the difference in your shoulders and in your neck when you do that. Another thing to think about is what's called forward head posture. And it's just like it sounds. So in proper alignment, you basically want your ears over your shoulders. And I can't really see what I'm doing here, but hopefully I'm doing that. A lot of times what happens when we're looking at screens or when we're driving or when we're doing something on our phone is rather than having our head like this, aligned over our spine, we do this. We start craning forward, right? We're squinting at the screen, we're doing all this. And so you can just imagine how all of this weight of our head, which can be held in proper alignment can be held easily and without tension, the more we crane our neck forward, we really start to compromise the ability of our cervical spine to hold our head up. So what happens then? All of these muscles in your traps, your shoulder blades, your scapula, right? There's all this musculature back there. It all becomes tight and tense as it tries to overcompensate for this alignment problem. So a simple postural thing you can do, again, noticing if your shoulders are creeping up, dropping them down and back. Really comfortable, really long. You can even, it's almost too long now. Right now I'm really pulling downward with my shoulders. It actually feels really nice, right? So shoulders are down and back and your head is aligned, and you can even strengthen the muscles in the back of your neck there by just doing these really kind of small, I don't know if y'all can even see that, just pulling your head back. And I do this a lot, so I don't really feel a lot when I do it. But when I first started doing it, I started feeling those little muscles like, wow, you really do have to kind of be conscious about keeping your head and stuff in alignment. But yes, 100%, too much tightness and tension going on there with the muscles constricting, your circulation not working the way it's supposed to, literally affecting your nervous system and the ability of your spine to function the way it's supposed to, is a big reason why headaches, dizziness, lightheadedness, and even like mental clarity kind of things can all be associated with whether this area is relaxed and comfortable or whether this area is full of tension and tightness. So really good question, Jessie. Thank you so much for asking it. I know that's something that I think every single one of us can observe in ourselves and can hopefully benefit from. So I really hope that it helps you. And I really think that checking out the ASMR will help you a lot as well. There's guided meditations. There's all kinds of different sounds, what we call triggers. Some people like hair brushing, some people like tapping, some people like scratching, whispering. If you don't like the whispering, there's also soft spoken videos where you would just speak in a calming voice, but it's not necessarily a whisper. In the ASMR videos, I talk really slowly and clearly, and I just talk about relaxation and things that we can do to feel better in our bodies right now. I filmed ASMR videos last night, and I really feel like I was in the ASMR zone, you could say. But anyways, guys, I really hope that that is helpful to you. Jessie, I wish you the best. And the good thing about something like nicotine withdrawal is that it's going to end. You're going to get through it, just like if you were swimming through a big vat of molasses. Eventually, you will get to the end, and you will be so much better for it on the other side. So congrats to you for overcoming your nicotine addiction. You are so close right now. The light is right there at the end of the tunnel. You've just got a little bit more time of enduring this, withdrawal period. And then you're going to get to the other side. You are going to feel so much better. What you are doing for your body by quitting smoking is just amazing. So be proud of yourself and just hang in there. I know that you can do this. Okay, pausing for the causing of hydrating. I feel weird because I say that every time I take a sip of water, so I'm going to try not to do that. It's probably annoying. Okay, Lucky Avalon. Is oatmeal for breakfast bad? Due to the possible crash you could feel afterwards, would farina, or cream of wheat, or cornmeal be worse? So really cool question, Lucky Avalon. Thank you so much for asking it. Breakfast. What a complex topic that has been, what's the word? ruined. I don't know. I got a lot of words going through my head right now. But what we think of as breakfast foods, at least here in America, where I've grown up, I guess I can't speak so much to other places because I just haven't lived there. But here in the States, the common breakfast foods that people think about are things like bagels, pancakes, waffles, oatmeal, grits, if you're in the southern part of the United States. I'm actually not a fan of grits, but as just perhaps, maybe somebody got a chuckle out of that. Maybe some of you, most of you, don't even know what grits are. If so, then be grateful for that. So what do these foods have in common? They are carbohydrate dense. And basically what that means is they are packed with carbohydrates, right? For gram by gram of food, those foods have more carbohydrates than proteins or fats, right? And when we are talking about breakfast, you know, what Lucky Avalon is alluding to here about the possible crash you would feel afterwards, that's, you know, what you might call the sugar crash, right? And what you need to understand is that in terms of our physiology and the way our body reacts to foods, those carbohydrates, like white bread, flour, pancakes, waffles, bagels, oatmeal even, those carbohydrates are basically just like sugar. So what gives us a sugar crash, right, where you zonk out after eating a lot of sugar, is that we eat that carbohydrate dense thing or that sugary thing, our insulin and our blood sugar level or blood glucose spike up really quickly. Those foods are broken down quickly and they spike up our blood sugar. The body releases insulin from the pancreas to try and handle all that sugar. And as the body tries to compensate for all the sugar, it releases too much insulin. So now our blood glucose level has spiked very high and then it falls very low very quickly because the body sees blood sugar as like a life or death thing. Okay, I mean, we can think about how we could die from eating arsenic. We could die from not eating anything for a certain period of time. We could die from not having water. I think after just a couple of days of no water, your body starts to deteriorate and start to die. But understand that our blood sugar level, or the amount of sugar in our bloodstream, is also a life or death factor. And if it's too high or too low, we will die. So this is why the body panics when we have a lot of sugar or we have a lot of refined carbohydrates, because once that sugar level goes too high, it has to handle it quick. So we get that crash of blood glucose, and that makes us feel tired, it makes us feel groggy, it also tends to make us feel irritable and just unpleasant in mood, right? So first thing in the morning, the last thing you want to do is spike your blood sugar level up like that. So let's talk about the good foods for breakfast. Now, when we talk about oatmeal, it's really important to kind of differentiate what oatmeal we're talking about. Okay, if you are actually taking like the minimally processed oats, what are often called oat groats, when you're actually in the grocery store in the bulk section, which is where I get my grains and oats and things like that. Oat groats, which doesn't sound very good, right? But when you cook it, it's just like oatmeal. But it's different than the cream of wheat or just add water instant oatmeal kind of thing, which is really common. That's what most people are having. So if you're talking about instant oatmeal kind of stuff, I would put that in the bad category. Maybe it's not as bad as pancakes and waffles, but it is going to spike your blood sugar up more than if you had a protein breakfast or foods that are higher in protein than carbs. Now again, if you're eating the minimally processed oat groats or any kind of grain, quinoa, which is technically a seed, quinoa, brown rice, these types of grains, while they do have a lot of carbs, they also have a lot of fiber. And what fiber does is slow down that blood sugar spike. So if instead of oatmeal, you were to have quinoa or brown rice or something like that, or even the oat groats or any kind of whole grain thing, there's a company called Bob's Red Mill that makes a whole lot of like instant cereals, but they're whole grains, minimally processed. When you eat those whole grains, you get a lot of that fiber, and a lot of them contain protein as well. So instead of this blood sugar spike, you get a slower, more consistent rise in your blood sugar, and then the body doesn't panic, right? And then you don't get that crash. So you want to have fiber at breakfast. Eat whole grains if you're going to eat grains at all. Stay away from the refined carbohydrates. Prioritize foods that maybe don't have carbohydrates at all. Healthy sources of fat and healthy sources of protein. So one of my favorite breakfasts is to have eggs. I love scrambled eggs, but it's probably healthier to have them soft boiled or hard boiled. Okay? Eggs and avocado. Great example of a breakfast that's basically just all fats and protein. If you're a meat eater or a dairy eater, we could also talk about throwing in healthy meats. So again, unfortunately, the typical breakfast meats like sausage and bacon, which I don't know why all the breakfast meats are pig meats. That's kind of strange. But anyways, understand that, you know, the bacon and the sausage are not your healthiest protein sources. So think out of the box of breakfast if that's what it takes. You know, think out of the box of pancakes and waffles and sausage, and think instead about things like eggs, avocados, salads, steamed vegetables. You know, let's talk about how much better of a day you're going to have if you had steamed green beans and eggs and avocado for breakfast instead of pancakes. You know, if you can give yourself nutrients in the morning, vegetables, stuff like that, that's going to be awesome. And if you need something sweet, use fruit. Maple syrup and honey are also what I would consider healthy, natural sweeteners. Again, you can't overdo it, right? But it's going to be literally 100 times better for you than sugar, you know, the refined sugar, what they just put as sugar on a nutrition label, which is a highly processed, refined carbohydrate. Sorry, I know I spent a long time on that question, but every single one of us eats breakfast or should be eating breakfast. So, so I felt like that was an important one. So thank you so much for that. That was Lucky Avalon with the question about breakfast. Also, guys, I've done several videos like specifically on breakfast foods and comparing like best and worst breakfast foods, stuff like that. So if you want to learn more about breakfast, put it in as a search term on Psychetruth, and you'll see that we've done actually a lot of videos specifically on that topic, and I have some healthy breakfast recipes I've made as well. Bridget Murphy, I want to eat healthy, but I absolutely hate salad. Any advice? That's totally fine. You know, salad is just kind of one of the many healthy ways that we can take in vegetables and sometimes fruits, depending on your salad. So salads are awesome. Okay. You know, don't get me wrong. Eating salad and eating a lot of salad every day is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Literally. Not only because you're replacing unhealthier foods with salad, but because of all of the nutrients that we get when we eat salad. Okay, so ideas for people who hate salad. Number one, find other ways to eat your vegetables. One of my favorite things to do is just having raw veggies like broccoli and celery and tomatoes and cucumbers, and either dipping them in hummus, which is a really awesome like chickpea paste basically. Okay, but if you don't like hummus, maybe you dip them in cream cheese. And if it takes, you know, sour cream and chive cream cheese or something like that to get you to eat some raw vegetables, freaking go for it. Okay? The bottom line, the most important thing is that you eat some vegetables. So literally whatever it takes to do it. So finding other ways to eat it. Steamed, things like steamed green beans, steamed broccoli, those are some of my favorite all-time things. And then again, whatever it takes for you to eat them. So the healthiest way to cook them is to steam them, okay, in water rather than cooking them with oil. But again, if you need to start with stir frying your vegetables in oil to get you to eat them at all, then do it. You know, and you can always work your way towards being healthier, but start out at the easy place. You know, another thing that I say about salads, kind of jokingly, but I'm actually completely serious, is that if it takes bacon bits and ranch dressing to get you to eat a salad, so be it. Fine. It is still better for you to have eaten that lettuce, to have eaten that salad, even if you had it with bacon and ranch dressing and cheese on it. Okay? You just need to eat your vegetables, whatever it takes. And then again, you can always graduate towards healthier options. So maybe you start with bacon bits and ranch dressing, and then you move towards a healthier dressing like oil and vinegar. Right? I say this a lot in respect to weight loss and improving our diets, but, you know, take baby steps. You know, it's really, really hard to think about making a huge change in one day or in one night. So pick changes that are really, really small that you can see yourself making. Like when I go out to a restaurant, I'm going to get a side of steamed vegetables instead of French fries or instead of whatever, mashed potatoes. You know, I'm going to eat one salad a month. If you hate salad, maybe just challenge yourself to start eating one salad a month. And whatever it is you need to put in that salad to make it appetizing to you, fine. Some of my favorite things to put in salad would be like black olives. I freaking love putting things like grapes and strawberries into my salad. You know, you like cheese? Put cheese on your salad. You like bacon? Put bacon bits on your salad. You know, and then you can always work up to a healthier way to eat those foods later on. But just start somewhere. And the smaller the change, the smaller the step, the easier it's going to be for you to make that change. And then go one little step further, one little step further. Don't try to overhaul your whole entire diet or your whole entire life in one day, because you're kind of setting yourself up to feel intimidated, to feel scared, and to probably end up giving up altogether. Man, I wish I had my my makeup bag in here. Okay, so Yesenia Gama says, do you have any diet creams or anything to help with my severe eczema? I've been struggling with it for 9 hard months. I've had it my whole life, but never this bad. Okay, so first off, I did a video specifically on eczema on this channel a few years ago. So again, if you put in skincare or eczema in the little search option for this channel, you can find that video, which I think would be really helpful for you. But let me just, you know, give you a couple of different things to think about here. First off, think really hard about what happened 9 months ago or changes that you made. You know, whatever it might be. I could sit here and think of examples to list off, but this is for you, right, Yesenia? So think about what happened 9 months ago that escalated the eczema to where it is now. Because typically when we're talking about our bodies, there's always a cause. I guess it is possible, but it's very, very unlikely or very uncommon that our bodies just randomly start to malfunction for no apparent reason. Or maybe it seems like there's no apparent reason, but if you look and you really, you know, get out your Sherlock Holmes magnifying glass and all that jazz, right? Mystery machine if you need to. Figure out, you know, what your potential causes are. If you can work with a doctor of functional medicine. Functional medicine is all about restoring function to the body and finding the cause that is preventing the body from functioning the way it's supposed to. So that is always my recommendation. If you can find a doctor of functional medicine, work with them, and they're going to literally help you figure out the cause and resolve that problem altogether. Third tip would be to understand that eczema is kind of an inflammation-based problem. So inflammation is something that is really at the root of so many illnesses and symptoms and problems. And anyone who has ever prescribed prednisone, okay, or other steroid drugs, understand that steroids are anti-inflammatory. So if you've been prescribed steroids for anything, that means that that problem is rooted in inflammation. And eczema and acne and stuff like that are also rooted in inflammation. Also, anything that ends with itis, arthritis, colitis, etc. So if you have a condition that ends with itis, that's also inflammatory. So doing something like an anti-inflammatory diet, which basically is like tons of fruits and vegetables, stay away from processed foods, stay away from refined sugar. Again, if you put in anti-inflammatory diet, you can find tons of information, but working to reduce that inflammation should also help. So that's about what we're putting into our body. We can also talk about what we put onto our body. So remember that your skin is not saran wrap. Okay, and what I mean by that is that our skin can be permeated or is permeable. And that means that the things we put on our skin topically do enter our bloodstream. It also means that if we have a lot of toxins internally from our diet or from just breathing in really toxic air, that our skin is also permeable outside. So through our sweat and through things like acne, or in this case eczema, those can also be reflections of something that's going on internally. So, improving your diet, eating cleaner, less processed foods can go a long way. And when we talk about the things you put on your body, I would encourage you to kind of use that same philosophy. You're looking for things that are simple, that are minimally processed, ideally that are food grade. If it's something you're going to put on your skin, I'm not saying you're going to eat your skincare products, but I'm saying it should be something that you might eat because it enters your body, right? So things I love using on my skin would be coconut oil. Shea butter is fantastic for extremely dry skin because it's very, very emollient. It's very, very moisturizing, but it doesn't contain a lot of water, especially if you get something that's like 100% pure shea. So there's a company called Nature's Shea that makes a lot of wonderful shea butter products that are literally just shea butter and the essential oils that they use to give them fragrance. There's also an amazing company. The website is the website is hardlotion.com, but the brand is called Made On Skincare. Again, hardlotion.com, and the reason that she called it that is that the products they make, which are like creams or lotions, they're actually in a hard bar. So there's no water added to them, right? And when you start to apply it to your skin, the warmth of your skin will get it to start melting. But that is such a wonderful thing for conditions like eczema because it's just that highly concentrated, I think she uses shea butter. She also uses goat's milk in a lot of it. As a side note on eczema, I've heard lots of wonderful things about goat's milk soaps and goat's milk skincare products for eczema. So I hope that some of those things will potentially help you. Again, I encourage you to check out that video that I've made about eczema. I have a lot of videos on, or not a lot, but several videos I've done on skincare and stuff. So I really hope that those are helpful for you. Yesenia, I wish you the best. I know that's an uncomfortable and unpleasant condition to have. So really, really hope that you can get to the root of it. right, scrolling down, looking for questions. Remember, guys, if you would like your question to get bumped up to the top, click on the little, it looks like an S, but it's also a $sign. That's underneath the comment box. That is your super chat button. It lets you leave a tip with your question. And questions with a tip associated with them, YouTube actually bumps them to the top and gives me a little notification. So if you want your question to get answered next and you want a guaranteed answer to your question, show me a little love. Send a little love my way. Amanda, I am so glad to see you here. I'm so glad to see you here. I'm so glad that you're okay. Anemia. Iron pills are the worst, and I don't eat meat, really. If you put in a Google search for, best sources of iron, there are a lot of different foods out there that can give you that iron content. Anemia. Man, there's just so many things that go on in our bodies when we so I'm just kind of weighing whether to do a general answer about anemia or try to address specifically what I think you might be going through because of different medications, other conditions, other confounding factors and stuff like that. But do a search for foods that contain iron, and what you'll find is that there are some really great vegetarian options out there that you can start integrating in your diet to improve that iron. I don't know, you said that iron pills are the worst. I don't know if you mean they taste bad or they're just like really big or whatever, but you might even talk to your doctor about if there's another form that he could prescribe iron for you if you're not able to take the pills. Okay, guys, so I just got another tip up here from Haas Cartwright. Thank you so very much. You are so kind. And there's not even a question. It's just a really sweet comment. Hi, Corrina. I just want to thank you for your health tips. I've gone from 115 kilograms to 90 in just a few months because of you. Greetings from Norway. That is amazing. So congratulations to you. That is absolutely fantastic. If you think of a question, please leave it for me. I owe you an answer at this point. Let's see here. Scrolling for questions. Let's see here. I don't know why it's kind of like getting a little frozen up for me. Anyhow, Amanda, I'm sorry I didn't give a very extensive answer to you, but let's talk. Let's talk soon. And again, I'm so happy and relieved to see you here in the chat. Thank you for popping in. TK101 Warhammer says not exercising is the main part of inflammation. So, that's totally true. Again, inflammation is this like really kind of vast problem, and it's the root cause of tons and tons and tons of different conditions. So yes, there's a huge dietary component. There's also a huge physical component, which is being active. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to go lift weights at the gym every day or anything like that, but being active, being, consistent with some kind of, I like to call it movement rather than exercise, because it can be stretching, it can be yoga, it can be running, swimming, playing, whatever, being a LARPer. It's good exercise and it's fun. Heck, there's just so many different things out there. So being active, moving your body, so important. Lara bars. Lara bars. I've seen those. I have had my... Oh, excuse me. Pardonnez-moi. Lara bar, the original fruit and nut bar. Let's take a look at this ingredient list real quick, shall we? Ooh, apple pie, banana bread, cherry pie, cashew cookie. I just got really hungry looking at this. So yeah, these look awesome. The Lara bar contains 6 ingredients: dates, almonds, unsweetened apples, cinnamon, raisins, walnuts. So this is the apple pie bar. So yeah, honestly, this looks awesome. There's a lot of little meal replacement bars, energy bars, protein bars out there. Snack bars, maybe, if you want to call them. I don't know. And a lot of them are the same highly processed nightmare as the foods we're trying to avoid by eating a little energy bar. So the Nutri-Grain bar, for instance, enriched flour, that refined white flour that we need to avoid almost more than anything else. So Lara bars, this looks awesome. I would hope that these literally are the only 6 ingredients in it. I'm pretty sure that it is. But when you look at something and it's just got natural foods, minimally processed foods as the ingredients, that's a really good sign, right? So almonds, apples, raisins, these are all the trick that I use in my head when you're looking at an ingredient label. Think, if I put that word in on Google Images, would I get pictures of foods, or would I get chemical structure demonstrations? So if you put in maltodextrin, or if you put in high fructose corn syrup, there's, it might give you some pictures of corn, okay? It might give you those, but it's not the same as if you put in corn, and literally you would get a bazillion pictures of corn. If you put in maltodextrin or high fructose corn syrup or EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, one of the most common preservatives, you would get a chemical structure because it's not a real food. So that's just kind of something to think about. So this is awesome because it's all just real foods, natural foods. In terms of sweeteners, dates are a great natural sweetener because they're minimally processed, right? They're in their natural state. And again, they contain a bunch of nutrients and fiber and other stuff like that. So when you use dates to sweeten your smoothies or in your cooking or in something like this, obviously, again, if you were just popping dates one by one, that would maybe be too much sugar. But as a sweetener in something like this, dates, raisins, that's a great, great natural healthy sweetener. So yeah, I would say that Lara bars look good. I'm probably gonna order some after this chat because there's a bunch of awesome flavors. Okay, cool. Bailey May, I was talking just a little while ago about skincare products. I love hardlotion.com. Really, really awesome, super moisturizing stuff. In terms of makeup and things like that, I've been using Real Purity brand, and I really, really like them. You know, some of my favorite things to use on my skin would be like coconut oil. The same coconut oil I use to cook, I like to use on my skin. Yeah. Lots of natural skincare product companies out there. And again, if you put in skincare in the search bar of this channel, you will find, I've made a variety of videos talking about skincare and natural skincare products. Miss Josie 3 says, sun salutations every day? Good? I don't know. I guess you're asking me if it's good to do sun salutations every day. And I would say, yeah. I mean, that's the whole idea. That's why they're called sun salutations. Because the idea is that you greet each morning with your Surya Namaskara or sun salutation, little yoga flow. So yeah, totally good to do sun salutations every day. You don't have to, obviously, but definitely I would say it's a good thing if you were to do them every day. Majed Al-Gamdi, I'm sorry, I can't say your name. Al-Gamdi? How can I contact you? I have more questions. So yes, I do have a health coaching business, I guess you could say. So I offer health coaching services via Skype and via phone. And I guess via email too, for that matter. So my email is emailcorrina@gmail.com. Like, it has the word email in it. I was sitting there like, what should I make my email? I don't know. And for whatever reason, emailcorrina@gmail.com like just seemed to make the most sense. So also, if you visit CorrinaRachel.com, my website, which is listed in the description of all my videos that I make, there is a whole page for health coaching on there that also includes my email. And if you don't know how to spell my name, then I would just say go to one of my videos on the channel and click on it, and then look for my website in the description. Do you have an Instagram account? I do. I think it's just Corrina Rachel. I'm not very good about updating my Instagram, though. I'll be honest, guys. I'm really, really bad about it. But every day I'm like, I'm going to be better about my Instagram. And then I don't do anything. But there is some stuff up there. Well, I don't know what just happened. You know the thing with the little laptop, the little mouse pad thing? Sometimes you just do stuff on it and you're like, how did I do that? I don't know. I just zoomed my whole screen. And now my questions are frozen. Yeah, Dana Robbins says, what about steel cut oatmeal? Yes, steel cut oats would also classify as whole grains. And again, with, your breakfast foods like oatmeal and things like that, which do still have a lot of carbs, okay? Again, way better than white bread and bagels and stuff like that, but add some more proteins and fat. So things like chia seeds and hemp seeds, awesome sources of protein and super easy to add to something like your oatmeal. Adding nuts like almonds, cashews, walnuts, boom, fats and protein. And again, the more fat, protein, and fiber that you add to your carbs, the more slowly that sugar will hit your bloodstream. And the more that breakfast will actually last you longer, rather than giving you that spike of energy or that spike of sugar and then having you crash right back down. I know, Amanda. I know I'm really bad about posting on my Instagram. I'm going to try to be better. I'm trying to be better. All right, you guys. So I am going to go ahead and start wrapping up here. I'm going to do my last call for super chats. Last call for tips. So if you have a question burning that you would like to be answered before this chat is over, now is your chance. I will try to do a couple more questions here. Again, I really, really super duper appreciate it if you want to leave a tip for us. If you've been following what's going on YouTube right now, there is a massive advertiser boycott, and it is taking a huge toll on content creators. There are channels out there that have lost half of their income, that have lost all of their income, depending on the types of videos. We have taken a significant hit on our channel. It's a big reason that we are diversifying the places where we're putting videos. So we're putting up videos on Amazon, and if you have Amazon Prime, they're free. So when you go to Amazon, you can just search for Psychetruth, and you will find our library of videos. Again, if you don't have Prime, you can still rent them for something like, I don't know, 99 cents or whatever. Or maybe buy them for 99 cents. But if you have Prime, which a lot of us do, if you have Prime, you're going to have free access to those videos with no ads. Also, Amazon requires a higher quality than YouTube does. So if you're watching on Amazon, you're actually even getting a higher quality video too, which is kind of cool. Also, we have our subscription service, Psychetruth Plus. Basically, on YouTube, you're kind of hurting your channel if you post too many videos each week, and we learned that the hard way. So we only post like 3 videos a week on this channel and 2 videos a week on our ASMR channel, but on Psychetruth Plus, we're publishing like 10 to 20 videos a week. Fitness, yoga, ASMR massage videos, guided meditations. Melissa's doing a DIY reflexology program. Tons of cool stuff going up on Plus. It's just like our channel, but better, I feel. And again, way more content. Videos that we will put up over time on YouTube, but you can just kind of get that if we put up 24 videos a week on Psychetruth Plus, which is what we did last week, it would take us almost 2 months to get all of those videos posted on the YouTube channel. And in 2 months, we would have posted another like 100 videos on Psychetruth Plus. So anyways, guys, we're running a special right now. It's normally $10 a month, but we are doing a 50% off coupon now. So you can sign up for $5 a month on Psychetruth Plus and get tons more of videos like you've seen on our channel. Also a lot more massage videos. I kind of mentioned this earlier when Athena was here, but YouTube has made it clear that they don't like massage videos. And we just basically can't afford to post massage videos on the YouTube channel, but we've got tons of massage, both the regular kind of tutorial like we've done on this channel and ASMR massage videos up on Psychetruth Plus. Oh yeah, and our Patreon. Our Patreon supporters, we are so grateful for you guys. I know there's a couple of you in here. I'm recognizing your names. Patreon, we post exclusive content every week. That means content that's not going up on Prime and that's not going up on Plus either. It's just for the Patreon supporters. There's lots of behind the scenes and bloopers and exclusive, other videos that we make, not just bloopers and behind the scenes. So Patreon, Amazon, Psychetruth Plus, please consider helping us out. Also consider leaving a tip here on the chat, and you will get your question answered, guys. Also, on a side note about Amazon, if you do have Amazon Prime and you check us out over there, pretty please leave us a review on the video and let us know what you thought. The Amazon reviews actually really do help us out and help out the videos. So even if you can't support us financially on Patreon or Psychetruth Plus, leaving us reviews on those Amazon videos is a really, really great way to help us out. And we're super appreciative of that. Thank you so much. Yeah, hoop earrings. They're just awesome. JC, you made a mistake. And you need to own up to it. And I'll just be honest, I am kind of pro-life. So, looks like you're going to be a daddy. Congratulations. Be a really good dad. Be a really good, hopefully, husband to your girlfriend. I'm from Austin, Texas. I don't know if y'all could tell that I got kind of a Texas accent. You know, sometimes I just can't figure out what I'm fixing to do around here. Now, I'm actually feel really lucky that I don't have a crazy Texas accent. Austin is kind of this cool little kind of non-Texan utopia right in the middle of Texas. But luckily, most of us Austinites don't have the, accent and all that stuff. But I do have fun talking in one, I tell you what. All right, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this chat for today. I want to thank you all so much for being here. It really just fills my heart with joy to get to share this time with you guys. I love hearing from y'all that the videos are helpful or that the answers in this chat are helpful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that you will come back again next week. Same bat time, same bat place. Luckily, there's no bats around here. I'm kind of scared of bats, to be honest. It was time for live chat. The Psychetruth live chat. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. On your YouTube machine. Live chat, live chat, live chat, live chat. I'll answer your questions about whatever you want to talk about on the Psychetruth. Live chat, live chat, live chat, live chat. Live chat. Live chat, live chat, live chat. The Psychetruth live chat. I got up on the goofy side of the bed today, apparently, you guys. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Thank you so much for all of your questions and support and the awesome jokes and other lovingly wonderful things here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful week. I wish you health. I wish you wellness. I wish you the very, very best. Thank you, and I will see you next week. Till then, take care.